Page 181, number 14. We have y equals x e to the negative x. What rule do you think we're going to use? This one's product rule because this is a product. But there's a chain rule within my product because that negative x is really like e to the negative x, and that negative x you can think of as being in parentheses. So our overarching rule is a product rule. So my y prime is going to be f prime g plus f g prime. So my f prime is 1, my g is e to the negative x, plus my f is x, my g prime. So g prime is where I'm going to have a chain rule. So the derivative of e to the x is e to the x. Derivative of e to the negative x, keeping the inside function the same, is going to be e to the negative x. All right, but then I have to go times the derivative of that inside function. Let's call it h prime to distinguish from the g prime. The derivative of negative x is negative 1. So what I have here is e to the negative x minus x e to the negative x. You know, and you might want to consider rewriting that as e to the negative x times 1 minus x. These are both fine. But when you're doing multiple choice questions on the AP exam, you need to be able to recognize various forms of your answer. That's number 14. Let's look at number 16. It says ln of sine of x. What rule am I going to use? All right, this is chain rule, and you can hear it when you hear yourself saying ln of sine of x. That two ofs is telling you that there's an inside function, and you're going to use chain rule. And using chain rule with ln is one that some people sometimes find confusing. This is y equals. Yeah. Because when like a lot of people think, oh, derivative of ln is 1 over x, but then I have the sine x. So what I do? So you want to think what really sort of holds you up is don't say the derivative of ln is 1 over x. The derivative of ln of x is 1 over x. Therefore, the derivative of ln of sine of x is 1 over sine of x. That's how you keep that inside function the same in a log derivative. Then I have to go times the derivative of the inside function, our g prime. Derivative of sine is cosine. So you could leave it like that, but if this were a free response, a multiple choice on the AP exam, they probably would write cotangent x and expect you to recognize that that's what that answer is equal to. All right, number 18 says r equals log base 2 of theta squared. All right, so we could think of this as being another chain rule, right? Because I have this inside function theta squared, all right? But remember the lesson we learned last time that you can use properties of logs to simplify the problem first. And first say r equals 2 log base 2 of theta, okay? I'm not saying r prime, I'm saying r because I have not done calculus here. I have done algebra 2. I've pulled the exponent out of the log function. Then I do the calculus, so that's not f. Then I do the calculus, so I do the r prime. Okay, the 2 is going to stay as a constant, and you have to remember what log base 2, what the derivative of that is. Do you remember? It's 1 over theta ln 2. All right, so that's what your r prime is. Now, by the way, if you do this by chain rule, it's not going to be wrong. It's just going to be more work. How would I do this as chain rule? I would go straight to r prime because I'm not going to do algebra 2. I'm going to just do the calculus right away. And I would say I have an inside function of theta squared. I know the derivative of log base 2 of x is 1 over x ln 2. This is log base 2 of theta squared, so it's going to be 1 over theta squared ln 2. Right? And then I have to go times the derivative of the inside function. My g prime is going to be 2 theta. And look at that. The thetas cancel out. And then I have 1 over theta ln 2 times 2. And it's the same thing either way. All right, so that's number 18. Number 20. We have s equals 8 to the negative t. So then s prime equals, all right, so you have to remember what a to the x, the derivative of a to the x is. Derivative of a to the x is a to the x ln a. This has an inside function of negative t. The derivative of 8 to the negative t is 8 to the negative t ln 8. But then with this inside function of negative t, I have to go times the derivative of the inside function. Derivative of negative t is -1. So you have that. You know, if you want, you could write this as negative ln 8 over 8 to the t. But, you know, this is fine. This is fine. Okay, so, you know, make sure you remember this derivative. You know, it's basically saying, like, if I have 2 to the x, that derivative is going to be 1 over x ln 2. So, for example, if I had 2 to the sine x, my derivative, let's say if this is y, then my y prime would be 1 over sine x ln 2 times cosine x. All right, so you could rewrite that in various ways. All right, so there's a bunch of derivatives. I'm not going to do 22 and higher just because there's like a lot to them, which is fine, but I need time to get to our regular class videos. I just wanted to try and get enough stuff reviewed here so that you could be confident with the quiz. So I hope these videos help you.